Bitcoin and crypto might be down right now, but we believe with extreme confidence that come Monday, when the weekend is over, we will be at $75,000 for Bitcoin. And I'm going to paint you a picture. I'm explaining to you exactly why I believe that. We're also going to take a look at the altcoin markets. Did Roaring Kitty just kick off a massive altcoin rally? And what are some of the altcoins you should keep your eye on? We'll discuss that. Also, jobs numbers are out. Everyone's panicking. Does that mean the Fed's going to cut rates? What kind of speculation are we seeing? And how is that going to affect the cryptocurrency markets? We have news from Telegram. We have news on the daily active user. Which chain has the most active users on a daily basis? The answer might shock you. Kind of shocked me. Also, we're going to talk about Kraken potentially going public with an IPO. And Cardano, a lot of behind the scenes whale activity happening. Is Cardano gearing up for a big price rally? We'll discuss that and much, much more on today's episode of Sin City Crypto. Let's go.
Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we're the entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel. We take old, boring, stale information, repackage that whole thing up in a fun, sexy way. Lot going on today, a lot to unpack, lots of volatility, tons of inflows. I think we've had almost 2 weeks in a row of straight steady inflows on the Bitcoin ETFs. Oh, David is weirding me out with his meow sound.
You hear that? It's a roaring kitty. It's a roaring kitty.
But you know what? The retail interest is up. We see that volume is up.
I don't mean to cut you off, man.
You meant.
I do mean to cut you off.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
700,000 people watching live. That's retail, guys.
Hey.
It ain't it's not the guy from Citron Research. It's not the dude from what's the other hedge fund name? Melvin Capital. It's not them watching. It's retail. And retail is obviously here. They're just not in crypto yet. We do have a video coming out later today talking about why, just like in 2021, where the GameStop rally really put the crypto bull market into gear. Think we're going to start seeing the same thing now. Although prices might not show it at this very moment, man, I'm bullish on crypto. We always talk about retail's not here, retail's not here, retail's not here. Robin, 600,000 people watching a live stream of a dude bandaged up with an arm cast, just talking about GameStop, showing his position, and really for the first 20 minutes was amazed at how many people were watching as I was. Can't imagine him actually doing the stream.
Yeah.
But I mean, just. Right? I mean, am I onto something here or what?
What, that retail?
Like 600,000 people watching a live stream. That's all retail.
Well, I mean, that's what kicked off the bull market
That's what I'm saying.
cycle, yeah.
So prices are down, but you guys should be super bullish.
We do got a video on this exact subject coming up here. So after the show, so if you want a little bit more deep dive into what is going on with GME and how does that relate to crypto, we're gonna throw a little bit at you right now. But I did want to bring up the elephant in the room real quick before we get too far ahead of ourselves. Just about 30 minutes ago, we were at 71,000 and on Bitcoin, and now, I mean, we are at 71,000. An hour, just a little over an hour ago. And now we're at 69,300. Massive drawdown in the last 20 minutes. And so we're starting to see these cascading liquidations ramp up. And, you know, obviously probably have some long positions getting liquidated right now. I think this is why the price is moving so sharply down. I'll send it over to you, David. I don't know if you have any insight here on Bitcoin, particularly this drawdown in the last 20 minutes.
So we got a Bart Simpson pattern here. So yeah, this is not on the 1 hour. It's not very good price action, right? Just price completely dove through our supposed to be support at this cloud. And so where we're going to catch some traction, let's go ahead and throw on some indicators here. Let's throw on, first thing I want to do is throw on our price action contest from LuxAlgo. Which, by the way, guys, if you don't use these indicators, these are really, really good. Whether you're new in crypto or whether you're new in trading, whether you've been doing it for a while, you can go in there and really adjust the settings to your liking. Or if you're brand new, you can go with the adjusted settings. This gives you a great broad view of where can we catch some support, where can we see some resistance. You can see here our equilibrium zone. between 69.1 and 69.4 is holding up currently, as we briefly wicked below it shortly, but we are trading right in that area. You can also see going back to June 3rd of this year, this is where we saw our break of structure that took the price of Bitcoin from that rallied around 3.5% from around 68,900, wicking all the way up to over over $71,000. And so could this be a good place to bid? Potentially. We are oversold on the hourly. If we zoom out to the 4-hour, you can see here an even bigger red candle, and we'll wait for these to populate here. Same thing, right? Equilibrium zone on the 4-hour as well, but we are not showing oversold territory on the 4-hour. Zoom out to the daily. We still have a little ways to go before we hit this level here around 67.7. We should catch a lot of buy orders there if we throw in our volume range profile and we remove our price action indicator. You can see here a lot of trading volume around 67.7. So if you're looking to enter a long position, of course, this is not financial advice. If you're looking to enter a long position on BTC, this might be a good limit order area just above it, right around 67.833. And then maybe have your take profit around 70 or $69,800. So that'll be a nice trade setup, actually. That's looking pretty good. And then Bitcoin did just break out of an inverse head and shoulders. So here's the thing. In any market, right, you're going to get ebbs and flows. You're going to get pullbacks, buying, selling. Speaking of buying, BlackRock has been on an absolute buying spree on behalf of their customers. $350 million of inflows yesterday. Fidelity had a mediocre day, well, less than mediocre, 3.1 million. We did see almost 100 million of outflows from ARK Invest, 37 million of outflows from Grayscale, which brought our net total to $217.7 million of positive flows into the Bitcoin ETF. Leading into this headline, U.S. Bitcoin spot ETFs achieve record-breaking 18-day streak of net inflows, and we are 4.5 months in, a time where a lot of people said, yeah, it's going to die off. Yeah, the initial hype, the people getting in, the people that have been waiting, they're already in. It's going to die off. It's kind of kicked into second gear. What are your thoughts of where we've been so far with the outflows and BlackRock, Robin, single-handedly propping up the ETF inflows yesterday, bringing them just $250 billion shy. Sorry, $250 million shy.
What did we talk about? What did we talk about for months when it came to the ETF flows? Was the drawdown that we've seen or the suppression on price via Grayscale, the rebalancing. Obviously, Grayscale had a product that was sold at a premium or at a discount, didn't match up with the price of Bitcoin as far as what you were purchasing at. So what we had to do is we had to take the largest Bitcoin wallet, sell enough Bitcoin to bring the price to NAV or to market. And in doing so, it has dramatically suppressed the price. I know a lot of people were talking about, like, how come we haven't seen these giant spikes on the price of Bitcoin ever since the launch of the ETF? We have seen prices move up, but it's just been a gradual price. And why is that? Because all of the inflows have been mitigated, or at least some of that large volume has been mitigated by the sell-off of Grayscale. That has subsided. That has slowed down. And now we're seeing that continually, day after day, we're getting a net positive inflows, particularly by BlackRock, who's now the largest holder of Bitcoin. And this sell pressure is gone. The halving, we are past that. So the miners are bringing in less Bitcoin. There's less Bitcoin entering the market. The order books are getting more and more shallow as far as how much Bitcoin are on hand from the major exchanges, and yet the buys and the inflows from the ETFs are ramping up. This is measuring up to be an amazing coming couple months. We had the sell pressure is gone, the buy pressure is here, and also the retail interest is here, and it's ramping up. And there's no further indication that you need than what you've seen in the price of GameStop as of recently. I think it's a great measure of what retail sentiment is. Now, as far as Bitcoin's price, we're at 68,000. So right now, you know, we're clearing out these long positions, and we're trying to see where is the local bottom here. How far down is Bitcoin going to drop? I mean, right now it's 68.9. we're gonna be keeping a close eye on this. Is this a good time to buy? I don't think there's ever a bad time to buy on Bitcoin, but if you're trying to set up for a trade, I would wait a little bit to see where this kind of balances out at. But how far down do you think the price of Bitcoin drops in the next hour by the end of the show, David?
I think the worst case scenario, I mean, I kind of went over the chart a little bit, but I think the worst case scenario for me, and I'll go back to my chart and I'll throw on my cloud. So, I mean, like I think I think the worst case scenario, right? We should catch some support at 66.3, right? 66.3, that is where our 21-day EMA is. That is where we caught support previously, where we had that massive rally from around 61.5 in a single candle up to 66.3. If there is further downside, though, 64K should be a pretty good level. We throw our volume profile on. Yeah, I mean, you take a look at 67.7, tons of volume there. Right at our EMA line here as well. A lot of volume there as well. So just look at all this volume here, right? Buyers, sellers.
That low? You think? I know you're just labeling out some major.
I think it's more worst case scenario.
Worst case scenario. Yeah. Again, I just think that being over 70,000 for quite some time, I find it would be very, very tricky for us to get down there in such a short period of time. I mean, we're currently at 68.8, so I mean the floor is falling here, So will we? I do think that we get down to 67, perhaps a candle wick at 66. I think that's somewhere where we'll be at by the end of the show. I want to know, what does the chat think? We've got a pretty good turnout here. I think a lot of people are seeing red in the streets. We almost got 300 live viewers. But what do you think? How low will Bitcoin go by the end of the show? So in the next 45 minutes, what will be the low print for Bitcoin? Do you think we get down to 67,000? Put a 1 in the chat. If you think we get down to 66,000, put a 2 in the chat. If we get down to 65,000, put a 3 in the chat. Or if it goes lower than 65,000, put a 4 in the chat.
Or if it goes to 0, put a
shut up. So 67.1, 62, 67.1, 66.2, 65.3, and sub 65. Put a 4 in the chat. I want to know, where do you guys line up on this price movement right now?
I mean, guys, we're still looking very bullish on the weekly. I mean, look at the weekly chart on BTC, right? We're essentially like, this is still a good chart on the weekly. You take a look, breaking out of a bull flag, right? We had follow through, although volume was not really there. Could we see a retest of this downtrending channel here? 61.5? I don't think so. But can we see a retracement back to those levels on the lower time frame? 66.5, 67.5? Potentially, yeah. But this looks great, man. This is so good. I mean, look at these big wicks, right? Tons of buying pressure coming in. As even when price is wicking, let's just take this week, for example, the week of April 29th, price wicked all the way down to 55.6 and closed above where it opened. So very, very bullish. Again, breakthrough with follow through on the for this bull flag pattern on BTC. Just beautiful. And then you take a look at the altcoin chart, right? The total altcoin market. I mean, this is on the daily. I mean, what do you see here, Robin? I know you're not the big TA guy, but I mean, this is
market cap for all alts.
This is everything except Bitcoin.
I wouldn't be swayed at all. If you're tuning in because all of a sudden you see a drawdown on Bitcoin, it was sitting at 71,000 earlier this morning, and all of a sudden you refresh your coin market cap or whatever price indicators you have, and you see that, hey, we've sold off around 3% just in the last hour. If you were kind of freaking out, let's take a second, zoom out. When you look at Bitcoin on the 1 month chart here, you can see that just a month ago, 30 days, we were at 60K. So we are in the right direction. Even going back as far as on the weekly, we are still higher than we were going into the week, which was at 67,000. So I do think this is just the market, a market just calling these long plays. So a lot of these people that are going long on Bitcoin at 70K, thinking that, hey, this job reports is going to come out and it's going to be hyper bullish. This GME,
The job report is up, by the way.
yeah, and it was at about 4%, right? We might break that down here in a moment, but I just think that a lot of people were expecting a major breakout for Bitcoin. I was even anticipating, and you can see with our thumbnail here, $75,000 Bitcoin by Monday. I still think this is in play. I think we're going to liquidate a lot of these long positions, and then the market's going to bounce back. You can see right now we are 69.15, and so we straight bounced off the 68.5 mark. So, how much longer will we be under 70K? I don't think for very long. And, taking a look at the, I was looking over here at the chat, at the numbers that you guys, everyone was putting 1s and 2s. I didn't see any 3 or 4. So I think that a lot of us here watching agree that Bitcoin probably won't draw down too far down. We're not going to see the 65K mark or even close to that, I don't think. But anything's on the table. Remember, there's a ton of leverage on these order books, and we liquidated just a little bit of that piece of the pie, but don't be surprised if we get a big candle wick down to what David was mentioning, 64,000. Wouldn't shock me. I don't think that we're gonna go there, but I don't know. I would be very hesitant on putting in a trade position right now. Just tons of volatility in the market.
Yeah, that's why it's key to have those levels mapped out. I mean, I still think Bitcoin's going to get 75K by Monday. These Bitcoin dips get gobbled up. But you guys also got to remember, Rob mentioned jobs report came out, and the markets tend to overreact, right? They overreact. They see a headline news. You also have these high frequency traders, these algorithms, these trading bots that just put in execute trades based off of headlines, right? This is AI driven. If a headline says losing jobs, gaining jobs, bad, good, whatever the vernacular is, these trading bots will execute trades. And so once the market, and then you start seeing cascading liquidations, especially in Bitcoin and crypto. I'm seeing a lot of, hey, why is it going down? Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is an extremely leveraged market. What does that mean? That means there's more people that are trading that are able to control, let's just say, $100,000 position of Bitcoin with just $1,000. So what does that mean? Tight stop losses. If it moves even 2-3% the other way of where you were betting it was going to go, it's going to liquidate your entire position. And then once your position gets liquidated, it brings it a next step down. And then the next people's positions, then you have a few whales, they get liquidated. Then it starts creating a cascading effect. That's why I start seeing a big drawdown, but the pieces get picked back up and the rallies tend to be a lot higher.
Where we're seeing a big indicator for liquidations, I think there was a lot of leverage in the Solana as well. So if you take a look at the Solana chart, we went from $160. We're currently at $160. We were just at $158 a couple minutes ago. But this is a far cry from where we were just earlier in the day. We were at $172. So I mean, down damn near 10%. From where we were just 2 hours ago. And so I think that there's a big correlation, between GameStop and also Solana. And, we're going to cover this once again in the video that we got coming out here shortly. But, take a look at the GameStop price here. You can see, and I know we came in with this as well, but the GameStop is currently down 40%. And so, one of the narratives that we're trying to paint for you right now is that GameStop represents retail. You know what represents retail right now in the crypto markets, and I feel like it's Solana, right? Everyone's talking about Solana. All the meme coins are being launched on Solana. A lot of all the people that I talk to at the restaurant, at the barbershop, they're talking about the next Solana project, Jupiter, the tokens. How high is it going to go? We know that Solana went from $10 up to $200 just in one calendar year, and that's quite substantial, right? I mean, damn near 20x. Depending on when you bought in and at the height of the market. But just in 12 months, 20x, tons of money has been made. Money is poured down the ecosystem into some of these altcoins. We see that there's no shortage of meme coins, no shortage of
influencers.
Yeah, and influencers hyping up and launching projects on Solana. But the thing is that Bitcoin has bounced back a little bit, but Solana is still down at $160. So pretty interesting to see that that hasn't pulled back yet. And once again, Bitcoin currently over 69.2 right now. So
if you're new to the crypto markets, maybe this is your first cycle, maybe you're tuning in saying, hey, why is everything crashing? What I want to remind everyone is this, is when you got into a token or a project or a coin, you had a reason for that, right? And if the only thing that's changed is the price and the reason you got in has not fundamentally changed, there is zero reason to panic, right? Nothing has changed for Bitcoin. No miners have gone under. There's no proposal that's been enacted that's going to make Bitcoin go from 21 million to 42 million supply. Solana hasn't gone down. Ethereum hasn't had a hack. Nothing has happened. And so
this is Black Friday sales, man. You know, that's how I look at these markets. You know, I like to go look at the chart and then say, hey,
you know, people always ask, say, how do you continue to make money in a bull market? Do you stop buying? Do you continue buying?
You look at moments like this and you get excited. That's exactly what it is. I mean, look at this chart. These red numbers, I look at them as sale tags, right? You know, Singularity Net, this is one of the projects that we've been very strong on. For some reason, it seems like the AI sector has taken a punch because you have Singularity Net here. And then a little further down, you got Fetch AI down 12%. And so, you know, some of our favorite projects, Theta Network, one of our favorite projects, down 9% on the hour, 13% on the day. And then, you know, if you're a fan of meme coins, we've seen that the meme coins have tons of volatility and bounce back pretty strong. Also, Gala, if you are a fan of Web3 and gaming, we don't need to explain what Gala is. I'm sure you already know, but this is a project that we have a lot of support for, or a lot of passion for. Large catalog of games, down 14% just in the 24 hours. Also like to take a look at the 7 days so you can see what is shut off the most. So Singularity Net, Beam, do not discount Beam. Beam is down 17% on the week, sitting outside the top 75. It was only a few months ago we had so much development on Beam. And so maybe if this is one of your favorite projects, this would be a good time to look at layering in a couple more buy orders, as well as, you know, you got Chili, Pepe. What are you buying? You in the chat, what are you buying right now in this dip? Is there anything you're eyeballing, or are you pooping yourself kind of like Joe Biden did last night? Let us know. What are you buying? We want to know what are you eyeballing as far as these prices?
You know, the stock market is also kind of turning green. You know, Rob pulled up GameStop and everything was red. Stock market's turning green. And guys, one of the big reasons is this right here, right? Jobs report came out, right? The headline said adding jobs. But as people got deeper into the numbers, you can see here, not very good. Full-time workers down 625,000. 625,000. Part-time workers is up. So although they added more jobs, they were part-time. So what do economists, what do traders take away from this, and how do they speculate and try to extrapolate? What is the Fed going to do at the next meeting? Are they going to cut? Are they going to hike? Are they going to keep the same? We know the Fed has continuously said jobs report, jobs report, jobs report, inflation data, jobs report, inflation data. Could this be the first cog in the wheel that gets the Fed to turn everything around? We saw the European Central Bank cut rates. We saw Canada cut rates. We saw the Bank of Japan, for the first time ever, raise interest rates. So people are doing things that they haven't done in years, and in Japan's case, in decades. Will the U.S. follow suit? I also want to share some other really, really good news. And so this headline, the only thing incorrect about this headline is replace the M with a T and an R, right? So instead of 100 million, it's 100 trillion. Global liquidity.
You mean billion, right?
Trillion.
Trillion? Oh, wow.
Global liquidity nears 100 trillion all-time high. As you can see from this chart here, looking into Bitcoin, global liquidity, $94 trillion, has broken above this little trend line, kind of like a chart, right? You bump up against this resistance, and we finally broke above it. So what does this mean? More money available to invest. Now we have the Bitcoin ETF. Now we have the big Wall Street firms that are backing it, BlackRock, Fidelity. So now anyone who has access to this $100 trillion, aside from our industry and the crypto native people, these guys can go to the New York Stock Exchange, to the NASDAQ, say, you know what? I want some exposure to Bitcoin. I'm going to buy $2 million worth of Bitcoin spot ETF. What do you think this could partly be the reason why we've seen the surge in inflows of Bitcoin ETFs as a surge of global liquidity is going.
Yeah, I mean, let's not fool ourselves. The United States government is not going to stop printing money. We are printing money in multiple ways. It's not only just increasing the money supply, it's also quantitative easing, basically injection of capital into the U.S. markets, which in turn flood into the global markets. And also, we are sending billions of dollars abroad to other countries, and that money eventually makes its way through the system and increases, not only the money supply. I mean, we didn't all of a sudden tax the U.S. citizen in the past couple months and then take all of that tax revenue and send it over to Ukraine and in Israel. What we did was we just wrote a check and then sent it and said, we'll deal with it later. That deal with it later is money supply, right? And that money supply will debase the currency, which all assets go up in price. I was
going to ask you, what happened last time the money supply went up?
Oh man, what happened? 2021 is what happened. And what happened in 2021? We saw new all-time highs in the S&P 500 printing week after week after week. Also, Bitcoin moved from 8,000, 6,000. I don't remember exactly where the COVID bottom was. Sub $10,000 Bitcoin moved up to $20,000 Bitcoin just in a span of weeks. And then from there, just in the span of a month and a half, moved from 20,000 up to 40. So, are we ramping up to find something very similar? I think so. I look at this volatility that we're seeing right now, these big swings on Bitcoin going from 71 down to 68, up to 69. I look at this as an indicator for the market is getting ready. People have money on the sidelines. People are making moves. There's a lot of interest in Bitcoin. I do want to stop the stream though. Time out. We are at over 500 live viewers, but we don't even have 100 likes. So we haven't broke the sign out in a while. So do us a favor, smash the like button. Also, I want to see where the support for Sin City Crypto is. Put a hola in the chat if you're liking the live show. If you're feeling the vibe, put OLA in the chat. Grab my sign. That's spelled just like that. OLA. That's our slogan here. So put that in the chat. Let's spam the chat. Let's see if we can get over 200 OLAs in the chat, please. Thank you.
This is going back to you mentioned the COVID bottom, right? That was around December of 2020, right? And then we saw money supply grow by 40% in 2 years. More money sloshing around, more money available for people to buy. People got airdrop stimulus checks. This was December, right? The very beginning here. We saw the altcoin market. So this is everything minus Bitcoin. Rallied 700% in 140 days. The second leg up was 112 days and it rallied 200%. So in total, the markets from top to bottom rallied over 850%. And so are we going to see something similar in the markets? Again, we take a look at the altcoin market cap, just an absolutely beautiful setup of a cup and handle on the altcoin markets. And if you're not familiar with trends and patterns, this is a very, very bullish pattern that does break massively to the upside. And if this has follow through, right, if we continue to follow through and we take this measured move, we're looking at a potential increase from the breakout of this handle here of around, from bottom to top, of around 91%. Now, this is the total altcoin market cap, which is sitting right around $1.3 trillion, $1.2 trillion. We're going to double that. Where is that money going to flow? That's the question you want to ask. Is it going to flow into layer ones? Is it going to flow into layer twos? Is it going to flow into meme coins, gaming, AI? Which ones do you think it's going to flow into the most?
I like AI right now. Here's something that people aren't talking about is the fact that Siri, I know this is a reach here, but hear me out here. Siri 2.0 is coming out. iOS 18 is supposed to be announced and then by Monday, I believe it is. And there's supposed to be a big focus on AI. So if you have an iPhone, you're going to have a virtual assistant by Siri. Now, what Siri's doing here is that they are letting you control your app. So if you're familiar with Siri right now, if you ever used it, you're talking to Siri, it pretty much can pull up some web pages, answer some broad questions. that's about the extent of its utility. But now it's starting to use AI. You're going to be able to control your apps and adjust things just by simply using your voice. You can say, "Hey, get into Spotify, play this this playlist," or get into the setting on, or make this X post, whatever it is. And so I think that this is something to keep an eye on because, well, there's a very strong user base for Apple products here in the United States. And with AI being integrated into Apple, we see what happens every time there's some bullish news coming out of NVIDIA's camp. AI sector tends to rally. So I'm going out on a limb here, and I'm telling you that, hey, Siri is about to go all in on AI. This announcement's coming out by Monday, and I think the AI narrative is going to rally. I think that to keep an eye on the AI stocks, also keep an eye on the AI meme coins, keep an eye on AI projects. Anything AI, I think within the next couple of weeks is going to rally. And not to mention, we're just looking at the AI projects are down right now. Singularity Net leading the charge as far as big pullbacks. So Singularity Net, Fetch. Obviously, you have the Super Alliance protocol, new token merge thing they got going. What's it called?
Artificial Superintelligence Committee, like a Marvel movie.
So it's the merger of all of the top AI projects, something that is slated to launch within the next couple of weeks, right? I know it's right around the corner. So I would keep a very close eye on AI, but let's not discount the fact that DeFi is the reason that crypto was built. The reason that Bitcoin was even created was to offer a decentralized way of transacting between you and one another, or to transact your finances. So I do think that never take your eye off of DeFi, particularly decentralized exchanges as well. We saw the Uniswap had a massive run up last bull market. I haven't seen any giant moves in DeFi sector yet. So that's something else I would probably hedge my bet on.
I'm keeping my eye on Bitcoin here, and looks like we might have created a local bottom here. This is Bitcoin in the 15-minute, this discount zone, which starts around 68,580. Wicked right above it, had a nice candle close, and we were currently, market's indecisive, right? Got a lot of bears coming in, trying to push the price down, bulls coming in, trying to push the price up. Where will it land? We know that we've caught support here right around this zone between 68,251 and 68,619. And we've wicked inside of this zone, but price has reacted positively. And we are seeing some volume here as well. Oversold on the 15-minute. We go out to the 1 hour. Oversold on the 1 hour. But you can see here with this massive wick, we are gaining back a lot of what we gave. So this candle closes in about 20 minutes. Will the next candle be a massive reversal candle? If you're new to Bitcoin, massive reversal candles are nothing new. We've literally seen $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 Bitcoin candles. 1 hour candles, 4 hour candles, 1 day candles. So if you're worried, don't worry. Bitcoin's coming back. In fact, I still, with confidence, say that I think coming into Monday, we're going to see a $75,000 Bitcoin. What you guys got to also remember is this. The stock market is currently still open. So you're looking at a price of Bitcoin. You got to remember, the stock investor, the average stock or Wall Street person, looks at a 3 to 5% move as a pretty big move, right? Us in crypto land, 3 to 5% is nothing. 20% is nothing. 3 to 5, 6% is a big move. So you're looking at the average investor on Wall Street. They're seeing this chart. They're saying, damn, okay, Bitcoin was at $71,000 this morning. It's at 68,000, 69,000. Let me go ahead and enter a position. Then you start seeing the inflows around 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time-ish. And then you see the buying heading into the weekend. Stock market's closed. Guess which market's the only one that's open? It is cryptocurrency. It is Bitcoin, the most liquid asset in the cryptocurrency space. And so these are all things to keep your eye on when you talk about thinking about what you want to do with your money, how you're going to make money. These are all buying opportunities if you have the capabilities and if you're confident in crypto and in Bitcoin, you have a long-term thesis for all of that.
There's been a lot of volatility and a lot of rug pulls lately in the Solana ecosystem. I know we're going to talk about that Hulk Hogan token here, which has also brought in some other people in the spotlight. And Iggy Azalea has came out and made a statement. She insists that she will not rug pull her token as it surges over 1,000% in a week. So over 10x on the Iggy Azalea token. I don't want to speculate on this token particularly, especially celebrity driven tokens historically have not done anything. And there is a giant list of celebrities that tried to capitalize off of retail FOMO. And I can't list a single token that was named after a celebrity that has done well. Now, not to say there hasn't been gains made, not to say that on a very, very, very short-term time window, people have made money, but realistically, if you've bought in any of these celebrity tokens launched by a celebrity, it's almost always led to peril. What do you say about, what do you think about these
Don't waste your money. Sure. Can you hit 1,000% gain on one? Sure. But you're more than likely going to lose it all. By the time you hear about it, it's too late. The insiders have sold, or they're starting to sell, and your money is going to be their exit liquidity, right? I'm not saying don't put money in meme coins. That's where I made my first 100x, was in the Trump meme coin. Speaking of Trump, saw in the chat, Trump called himself the crypto president. Let's talk about all the bullish things that are going to happen in the next 6 months. You have global liquidity on the rise. You have a potential Fed pivot. You have retail, obviously, is here. 600,000 people watching a freaking live stream just an hour ago. You have the halving, right? Typically 6 months after the halving, we see massive rallies. You have an election where crypto and Bitcoin is obviously at the forefront. You have Donald Trump, who's got a $20 million crypto portfolio, now taking donations in crypto, the first major party candidate to do so. You now have the Biden administration seemingly warming up to crypto, or at least the idea of legislation for crypto. You have China. Did you hear? Bybit just put an application to get into China. So imagine we unlock China. We have the U.S. now.
I like how you said unlock China, like it's a secret level.
The video game. China, I mean, second largest economy in the world, right? And let's just face it. You look at the Asian markets, Japan, South Korea, Thailand, Singapore, Dubai is not really Asia, it's Middle East, but still, China, Hong Kong. These are very forward-looking. It's a very forward-looking, I don't know if culture is the right word, but investors, right? Those investors, you talk, and the thing about what's happened in China as well, they've gone into deflation because people are not spending money. People are just hoarding their money. If crypto becomes available, Bybit, maybe Binance gets back in there. Maybe Coinbase decides to get in there. What kind of liquidity is that going to bring on top of everything happening? I mean,
I can't discount what you're going to get out of this coming election. And this isn't a theory. This is just tried and true every 4 years, especially when it comes to an incumbent president going up for re-election. It has boded very well for stock market, for the broader markets, speculative markets, cryptocurrency. And, a lot of people say that, hey, look, the halving always creates a bull market. You know what? The halving also lines up perfectly with the election cycle. And so what do we talk about every time with the halving? Well, post-halving 6 months. What is post-halving 6 months? It is literally the election. So, you could sit here and say, yes, the supply has been cut in half, or at least the new supply being mined is being cut in half. What does that do for the price? Of course. And I think that these are obvious scenarios that are layered on top of each other. And so there are multiple factors that drive up the price. But I do think that the election here in the United States, the fact that the president that is the sitting president going into an election wants to get reelected. And what do people do when they want to get reelected?
They pander.
They give out money. They say, hey, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. And usually X, Y, and Z all have price tags above them. So I remind you that coming up here, we are about to go into the next stage of this bull market. And then also, I did want to give a big shout out. We got Early Bird and also Brokioshi giving 10 gifted memberships both. So big shout out to you. And then also we have Stan. He called us Sin City Kitty. So that's kind of funny there as well. I do want to, I can't resist but to talk a little bit about these meme coins. And obviously the story of today is the The story of today is GameStop, right? GameStop is kind of the trending article, Roaring Kitty. And, do you look at this GameStop token as anything that you might be eyeballing? I know I talked to you last night about it. I said, hey, David, maybe this is something we should keep an eye out on. Obviously, this hasn't been around long. If you take a look at the 1 month chart, you can see that, it's not really much has gone on. If you go back a month, it's up,
It's obviously rallied
2,000%.
alongside the stock.
Yes, 100%. But the stock has a lot of volatility, and I wouldn't be surprised if we get a 2x out of the stock. But what would that mean for this GameStop token? It's down. It was up to 3 cents. It's currently down to a penny right now, or just slightly above it.
The one thing I will say is, what do we keep seeing from GameStop? Halted trading, right? People not being able to sell, people not being able to buy, people not being able to add leverage or add margin or whatever the case may be, right? Exercise their calls. Whatever they're doing over there at the stock exchange and Robinhood and all these platforms, what doesn't have that? It's our industry. It's crypto, right? And so could this be your GameStop proxy, right? This GameStop meme. Now, we're not endorsing it. We're not saying go out and buy it. It's even more volatile than what GameStop is, right? Less liquidity, less traders, less money sloshing around. But if you really want to say, hey, look, I want some exposure to GameStop, I think that the price is going to go up. Roaring Kitty is obviously back, right? Everyone saw those tweets that he was coming up with, those little short videos saying, this is not him. What is he doing? Bam, live show. It's him. He's back. Retail's back seemingly. We saw what happened in 2021. Now, is that the best play? I don't know. But
the degen side of me is going to keep a close eye on this, and maybe there's something to it. I don't know. We'll take a look at the contract per Dex Tools. See what Dex Tools is giving that as far as a rating, and as long as it checks those boxes, as long as it doesn't seem like it has any potentials for rug pulls or any contract shortfalls. I don't know, man. I'm gonna keep an eye on this one.
I'm going to do some rapid fire here, okay? Let's take a look at the markets, okay? So Bitcoin's over 69 again, 69,122. Right now, I want you to keep in mind current prices, and you're holding for, let's just say, 7 to 10 days, okay? Solana or XRP? Solana's at 161, XRP's at 48.6 cents.
Call me crazy. I'm going to go with XRP. And why do I say that is because the court case resolution is supposed to be coming down within this month. And so will it be here by next week? Will we have a final verdict? If the answer is yes, and if the verdict is positive, if there is perhaps no fine, which I know is kind of a stretch, but if basically all charges kind of get dropped, or then, what does that mean for XRP? Obviously, extremely bullish. That is, I would say, kind of a long shot. I think realistically, the court case probably drags out a little bit, or at least the decision drags out a little bit. And I do think that they probably do get hit with a fine. But as far as an upside play, taking a flyer here, I like XRP. I think that this has a potential to blow up if the court case ends and is positive. So
I actually agree with you. Yeah. And I think XRP will get back to 52 cents sooner than Solana will get back to 171. While we're doing this, I want you in the chat to play along as well. So we're going to list out 2 coins, current prices, holding 7 to 10 days. Which one are you going to make the more money on, okay? So
XRP or Solana for this one? We're
both XRP. I know Rocco, I don't have to ask him. I know he's XRP. Not familiar, Rocco's our producer. Rocco, show your face.
Where's that?
Now you want me to show my face,
yeah,
right?
sure.
When are you going to bash about XRP?
There he is.
There he is. Rocco is,
no kitty today.
Rocco's the
Dogs.
biggest degen of us all here. All right. So we have that. Okay, now think about this. Ethereum at 36.75 or BNB at 6.77. Let me note, BNB was the first altcoin to make new all-time highs. BNB, Ethereum holding for 7 to 10 days. Current prices.
I got to go Ethereum ETF right around the corner. I know it's not going to launch within the next 7 to 10 days, but I wouldn't be surprised if you do get a big speculative push. Perhaps there's maybe some other mention from BlackRock on Ethereum. We know that they are building this tokenized world on Ethereum's network, and they've mentioned Ethereum before, Ethereum ETF coming out. I just think that if Larry Fink comes out, does an interview, mentions ETH, I think that it rallies the price quite significantly. Not to mention the ETF is here, right? It's in the final approval
Technically,
stages,
yeah.
and the S1s are the only thing that's really left to be filed. So
I'm going to disagree with you here. I'm going to go BNB, and I'm going to show you a picture, and this is my answer right here. Top 10 holders of BNB hold 75% of the coins. So we saw what BNB did in the bear market, this past bear market in 2022. It went down, 65%, while like Avalanche went down 92%, Solana went down 90%, Ethereum went down 75, 80%. So I think the rally up is going to be a lot higher. I think BNB coming out of this with a nice rally can get to 750. ETH, I think it's going to have a hard time breaking $4,000. Now, I am more long-term bullish on Ethereum, but in this scenario, 7 to 10 days, I'm going BNB. You're going Ethereum?
yeah,
Okay. All right. Let's take a look at two meme coins, right? Two of the top meme coins. You got Doge down 7.3% in the 1 hour. SHIB is down 6%. Doge or SHIB, 14 cents for Doge, 4023 for SHIB.
I have to go with Doge on this one. It's an absolute must. And why is that? Because what happened in 2021 was GameStop rallied, AMC rallied, and so did Doge. Doge was up over 2,000% on a year to date. In 2021. So at the same time that GameStop and AMC was rallying, the biggest returns came from Dogecoin. That was really what kicked off kind of the crypto altcoin season, right? We had Bitcoin rallying. They drew a lot of attention. MSNBC, Fox News, they were covering, hey, Bitcoin it's moving. But then all of a sudden, shortly thereafter, the narrative switched and it went straight into Dogecoin. Everybody was jumping on the Dogecoin bandwagon. Elon Musk was tweeting about it. But that really got kicked off by this GameStop craze. And well, GameStop craze kicked off again. And so will we see a big surge in interest in Dogecoin once again? I believe so. Now, I don't think that Doge is going to be the best performing altcoin. I think there's some other coins that are further down the market cap list that have a lot more room to run because their market cap is smaller, so it takes less money to move the price up. But when you compare it to SHIB, both of them are in the same zone as far as market cap. I think that there's going to be a lot more interest on Dogecoin. Perhaps we get a tweet from Elon Musk. Perhaps we get some news as far as an ETF listing. I mean, I know that's a reach, but I mean, realistically, you got Bitcoin ETF, Ethereum ETF. What's next? You know, if you look at what the exchanges listed first, like Robinhood, for example, it was Bitcoin, ETH, Doge, ETH Classic, and Bitcoin Cash. And Litecoin. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get a Bitcoin Cash ETF, a Litecoin ETF, or perhaps a Doge. I don't think that there's enough volume or enough interest for Bitcoin Cash or even Litecoin, but I think there's still a ton of interest for Dogecoin. So I do think that an ETF is around the corner for Dogecoin.
I not for your reasons, but I think Doge is the play here, right? Doge at 14.7 cents, down 7% over the last hour. SHIB down only 5.8%. I think there's just a lot more people that know that, and I know that both brands are very familiar to the retail investor. But I think that Doge, the first ever meme coin, and everything you mentioned, the Elon Musk thing, let's not forget, X is about to become a payments platform. And if you guys remember, Robin called this months before it happened, the Twitter logo got changed to the Dogecoin logo. A lot of speculation is, hey, will Doge be one of the payments that get included? You also think about, hey, when new things are launched, right? New ways to pay. Doge is always one of the first ones listed as far as payments taken. So my answer is also Doge, and it looks like we got a lot of shibs in the chat. Crypto Otaku said, no Cardano love. There is Cardano love, and here it is. Cardano at 44.6 cents or Avalanche at $33.
Gotta go Cardano. Gotta go
Cardano was having a nice rally up to almost 50 cents off the news of Argentina. Obviously, as the markets have bled off, so has Cardano. So your play here over the next 7 to 10 days is Cardano over Avalanche?
Yeah, especially when you talk about retail sentiment, the strongest performing top altcoin last bull market was Cardano. It was around a penny or at least under 5 cents at different points in the bear market in 2020, and it moved up to $3. So out of the top projects, I think it was the strongest performing altcoin, especially out of out of the top projects that we're looking at right now. I mean, you can make an argument that perhaps Solana outperformed them, but that was really ICO sale Solana prices. Most of Solana was scooped up around $10 to $20, even in the last bull market. For me, I think that Solana degens, or excuse me, Cardano degens get back into the market. I think that when people started to look, hey, GameStop's up, Dogecoin's back, or at least the Bitcoin's breaking new all-time highs. What altcoins am I going to look at? I think that retail, for some reason, is very polarized by Cardano. Maybe Charles Hoskinson in his hot takes and his streams and his very, very opinionated views. Maybe that has something to do with the retail interest. I believe so, and I think that's right around the corner as well.
I think the play for the next 7 to 10 days is Avalanche over Cardano, but I think the longer term play, as far as getting the most X's for your money, is going to be Cardano. Cardano is extremely undervalued, and a lot of people say, hey, nothing's going on. You got to dig deep, right? Cardano doesn't get and Charles talks about this all the time, doesn't get the coverage that a lot of these other coins get. I mean, I sift through news all day long, and rarely ever do you see any Cardano, and not even just bullish news, just Cardano metrics, Cardano activity, Cardano builders, Cardano projects, tons of it for Avalanche, tons of it for Solana, tons of it for Ethereum. So I saw a comment in there saying, you guys are stuck in the last cycle. What about this? I go, okay, let's talk about two this cycle coins, Near Protocol and Toncoin. Okay, Toncoin is at $7.24. Obviously backed by the Telegram group, right? Over almost 1 billion active users. Massive.
I would challenge that comment, and I would say, outside of Toncoin, what new project is in the top 50? You can go back to last bull market, 2021 bull market.
You can say Pepe, Aptos.
But but you see what I'm saying is that the list of new projects is very short when it comes to the top players. Outside of meme coins, you just have some layer 2s have really grown. Some liquid staking protocols have grown. But you know what? It's the familiar faces. And last bull market, we had a lot of new projects come up into the top 50. But why was that? It was because you had these new layer 1s that were building out, that were gaining traction. And what has happened from that bull market to this current one is that these builders have kept building, expanding, increasing their scalability, and also signing up more developers and launching more dApps on their platform. So if you are a new layer 1, you don't even have smart contracts launched, or perhaps you just launched them. You don't have the devs, you don't have the TVL. It's going to be very hard to compete with 20 plus layer 1s that are all crushing it right now. Let's not kid ourselves. Solana damn near at all-time highs. BNB already crossed all-time highs. You can make an argument that, well, Cardano is really not following the rest of Solana as far as price and rebounding its previous all-time highs. But at the same time, you can be like, hey man, the hard fork, the Chain hard fork, supposed to be launched in the next 2 weeks. They're building, they're not slowing down. Their throughput and scalability is significantly ramped up from where it was last bull market. And also they're expanding their partnerships, and they have their liquid staking pools. They're natively on chain, not done on a different platform. And so if you're a new chain, how the hell are you going to compete with the likes of Avalanche, Cardano, ICP, even Ethereum, and it's all of its scaling solutions that are built on top of it? I just find it hard for an outside competitor to get in there. Will there be some new chains coming up? I think so. There's always room for new chains to come up. But right now, for me and my risk curve, why even take that risk? You know what? I'm gonna pick some of my favorite altcoins here, and I'm gonna just ride those things up to a nice 10x. For every $10,000 that I put into some of my favorite layer 1s, I would expect this coming bull market to get a $100,000 return on each 10,000 I put in with that nice 10x. So
Yeah, I'm just keeping my eye on the Bitcoin chart here again on the 15-minute. Maybe people are new coming here saying, "Hey, what's the cause of the crash?" So a lot of uncertainty globally, right? You have Russia announced they're doing military drills in the Caribbean. They're sending nukes and missiles to Cuba and Venezuela, which obviously those would be able to reason. So a lot of global uncertainty with war and everything going on. So you have a lot of fickle investors. And then, of course, as mentioned earlier in the show, the cryptocurrency markets are very leveraged. And so it takes just a little bit of a fast enough move to cause cascading liquidations and for the price of the coins to start dropping rapidly. But 69K seems to be a very, very strong level here. This is Bitcoin on the 15-minute chart. See here, we saw a small reversal, but it looks like we're trending down again. But again, zooming out to the 1 hour, not looking good. But you see here on this wick from the last hour candle, we did catch some support right around the upper end of the 68K level, 67K, right? We were range bound on the hourly chart. This is going back to May 31st until June 2nd. We were range bound, very tight, had an explosive move up. Can we get back into this range? And that range is between $67,500 and $68,000 even. Potentially, yes. Guess what? If it does, I am a buyer. I actually have a couple limit orders set right above $67,200, as I believe we will see some reversal from BTC there. Take a look at the volume. We're currently at a key volume level. If we lose that and we keep going down, again, those are some of the levels I'd be looking at. As you can see here, finally this thing loads. The next level we should see here would be right around a big volume gap. You can see here it was around $67,700, which again fits into that range of where Bitcoin consolidated. Now, what is the importance of where something consolidated is significant, right? Take a look at if a price is able to trade at a certain level, that price gets anchored into investors' minds. And so if Bitcoin remains above $65,000 for a month, guess what? If the price goes back down to 65,000 or even below 65,000, now to the investor, the person that's been waiting on the sideline can say, "Oh, this is a discount. I've seen Bitcoin be above 65K. It's traded at $68,000, $70,000 for 30 days, 45 days, 60 days, whatever the amount of days is. Now it's below it. Let me get in. I have a potential of a 7, 8, 10% upside till it reaches the top of the market where Bitcoin started to fall down. And hey, this might be a trade setup for people to be able to get in."
Yeah, and Bitcoin currently under that $69,000 mark, as you're kind of talking about there. So, now how far down will this go? Will it get down to 65K? I don't know, man. I would be a little surprised. No, but hey, you know what? We're at the end of the week. It's a Friday going into the weekend. Wouldn't be shocked to see us go far, a little further down. I do think that, the ETFs have signaled that, their inflows have repeatedly come in day after day, and that institutions are buying, that there is a shortage in the market for BTC in supply. You look at the order books or the depths of the order books, how much Bitcoin is on hand, that is falling fast. And you know what? There is a giant percentage of Bitcoin that hasn't moved in the last year. And so when you take all of that to account, these sell-offs are short-term. It's really just the market clearing out some of these long positions and, cascading liquidations. How far will the downturn be? How long will it last? I think no more than this weekend. I really don't believe that we go into a Monday and we're at like 65K. I think that maybe this just kind of plays out these big red candles, maybe in the next few hours. Let's clear out these long positions, and then we're going to be back rebuilding our support, getting back above 70K. And I do think that within the next 2 weeks, we do break all-time highs. I know that sounds crazy right now, but new all-time highs within the next 2 weeks. I think that's where we land.
Seeing a lot of people trolling about the 75K by Monday. Again, if you're maybe new and you don't know how Bitcoin runs, typically sell-offs like this, the price, especially in a bull market, right? We are in a bull market. And when we have big drawdowns like this, whether it's people knee-jerk reaction to news, whether it's people trying to figure out, hey, What is the Fed going to do? What's the Treasury going to do? Stuff happening. It all tends to subside very quickly, and then price resumes its trend. And if you go back to the Bitcoin chart and you just go to the weekly, the trend is up. The trend is up and to the right, right? Nothing has changed on the trend. If anything, it even looks more bullish, right? You get reaccumulation, distribution, reaccumulation, longs enter, price goes up. And so
I'll even say this, just to keep in perspective, we did put out this this thumbnail or this title at 75K. That was when Bitcoin was sitting at 71,000 right prior to the show. So would I readjust it? Sure. I agree. 75K might be a little stretch for by Monday, but I still do think that we're above 70,000. I think that the short-term drawdown is temporary, and I think that come Monday we'll be over 70,000, maybe 72, maybe 73. I know
which is only 2,000 away from 75.
There it is. So I still stand by my conviction and my direction. Perhaps price targets are missed as far as the exact number, but I do think that the trend is in that direction.
So I was just going to ask you, so how do you see this weekend playing out? Do you think the markets are going to cool off? Obviously, we're heading into a weekend, no trading on the stock market. People are able to regroup, go back, be like, hey, what really happened?
I think tomorrow, and we've seen big moves out of Bitcoin on Sundays. So my anticipation is here. Perhaps the sell-off kind of continues up until the end of the night. I think that perhaps we go in Saturday, we're at $67,000, $68,000 Bitcoin. Maybe we go down to 65,000. But I do think that we get a sharp reversal. I think by Sunday night, we're back up to 69. And I wouldn't be surprised if the early mornings of Monday, the stock market opens up. You see a ton of Wall Street investors getting their opening orders on Bitcoin because they see the value. They say, look, man, this thing was over 71,000. It's currently sitting at 69, 68. I think that the opening morning hours when trading starts on New York Stock Exchange, that we see that big run up, 71,000, 72, $73,000 Bitcoin by Monday morning. I think that's kind of where we land.
Yeah, did you see, now someone mentioned earlier, but Donald Trump calls himself a crypto president at a San Francisco tech fundraiser. And so if we were to extrapolate, right, we talk about that mega meme coin, the Trump meme coin on the show all the time, but anything else that you can think of, maybe trying to front run the upcoming election, any sector or certain tokens or maybe certain political figures, or should we look at what Trump's dog's name is? What are some? Dog? I'm assuming he probably does. I don't know. Does he have a dog?
I feel like
Can anyone confirm or deny whether Donald Trump
every
has a
president
dog?
has a dog?
Well, we know Joe Biden's dog keeps attacking people.
The Secret Service keeps biting them.
It's not funny, but it's kind of funny. So, anyways, the reason for this question is, right, the way you make those 100,000x gains.
He doesn't own a dog.
He doesn't?
Mm-mm.
He looks like someone who would own like a raccoon or something.
I figured Trump would have like hunting dogs. I know he
Beagles
hunt. Yeah, like one of those basset hounds. Hey man, those things are really popular for the hunting community, especially down in Florida. I know he has a lot of hunting trips. Maybe he has a cat.
Anyways, the reason for my question is, right, you want to make those big, massive gains. You want to try to have some foresight into what you think the masses are going to pile into. And so we know Trump is someone, like him or hate him, he's in the media all the time, he's getting a lot of media attention. Is there any part of the crypto markets, is there any narratives you think that people should have their eye on or try to keep an ear to as far as something to maybe be able to get in?
I just wouldn't fight the trend. And, even Trump himself is very trendy, right? What happened? He launched multiple NFT projects. When did he launch NFT projects? When it was a little bit more trendy. Has he come out with a new NFT in the last 3 months? No. Why? Because, NFTs aren't really that trendy, right? And so he's taking crypto for payments. He had an event in his Mar-a-Lago estate down in Florida. And, I think that what's trendy right now is Solana. And I know that we kind of opened up with that. And so I wouldn't fight the trend, right? If you would have fought the trend last bull market, you would have been kicking yourself in the butt. If you would have said, man, this metaverse thing is stupid. It is stupid. but it was pretty damn trendy, and a lot of people made money last bull market. If you would have said, and this meme coin thing is stupid, if you would have said that last bull market, you would have been kicking yourself in the butt as well. And so I look at the market right now as what is trending. It's Solana, it's its ecosystem, it's all of those meme coins that are launched on there. And so I would keep a close eye on that, because I think that former President Trump has been very vocal on what's trending, at least in the crypto space. And he's a very trendy person anyways, himself. Remember, he made a comment on Joe Exotic when he was talking about maybe I'll pardon him. And a lot of that came because everyone was talking about Joe Exotic and the Tiger King. And so he's very trendy, and Solana's trendy. So would it surprise me if he talks about Solana ETF? That wouldn't surprise me. But what would surprise the markets is if he did that. And if he mentioned Solana ETF in one of his rallies or something of that nature, I do think that the Solana token itself would probably 2x. What do you think? If Trump
2x?
mentioned in a press conference, we're looking at Solana at 170. He says, "Hey, when I get elected, we're going to make sure that Solana gets an ETF." He says that. What do you think? Price goes to 340? I think so.
That's rough. But I don't want to discount anything, right? But I mean, at least a 40% move, right?
No.
I don't know if it'll 2x, but at least a 40% move. But I think an actual ETF filing I think that would move the needle more than Trump coming out and saying we're going to get, because I think a lot of people see that as pandering, right? And so, yeah. But guys, if you enjoy the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, have your notification bell pinged on. Big show.
I want to rally the troops here. If you are watching live and we ask you, please go watch this video. We're going to put out a little, what is it, about 1 hour from now, right? So launching in 1 hour, we got a video. It goes a little bit more in depth on GameStop. Also, we got a little Andrew Tate clips in there. And what does that mean for Solana? So go support us there. Go watch the channel. And if you're watching that one and you're coming from here, put a brola in the chat, BROLA, to signify that you watched it from here.
You have fulfilled your commitment to us that you don't need to commit, but we appreciate you. We also appreciate our channel sponsors, and today's show was brought to you by CAMS Blue Wire Technology. If you want to learn how CAMS can help you scale, grow, and maximize your networking, IT, and cybersecurity. And to be honest with you, our stream in 4K would not be possible without CAMS. And so if you want the same for your business, visit BlueWireTech.com or click the link in the description of this video. With that being said, my friends, enjoy the video that's coming to you in about 1 hour. Have a lovely weekend. Do not panic. Prices will come back, and I'm sticking to my guns, 75K by Monday. If you want to clown on me and I'm wrong, come back on Monday and you can clown on me. I'll give you 2 minutes on Monday if price is not at 75K. I'm sticking to my guns. Sticking to my guns.
I think 72 is.
But if I'm right, if I am right,
I'll bring donuts for the studio. I'll bring some fancy pastries for Rocco. Oh, there we go.
Bring him a frappuccino with a spoon too. While you're
And,
Rocco,
I'll bring breakfast if the
put it on screen.
I got something for you. I'm gonna show something. Hold on.
What do you got?
That's what we have an inside. We just have a scoop of what happened today.
Inside scoop.
Inside scoop right here. Okay, let's go.
Yeah,
That's what
today's
happened.
market summarized by
Summarize. There we go. 70,000. That's what we
Come
were.
on, 70.
71. We got 71. Yes. All time. It's coming. It's coming.
Is this?
There we go.
Is
There we
this
go.
in Italy? It looks like an Italian. beach.
Just gave up.
Like the kid to the
Looks
scoop.
like an Italian beach.
That's pretty funny. Yeah. All right, guys. With that being said, Rocco.
All right.
Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to catch the video. Have a great weekend. Don't do anything stupid. Don't panic. Everything will be okay. We'll see you guys on Monday. Until then.
Ciao a tutti.
Sin City, crypto. Everybody know we here for entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in for big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I spit the game, but they gave it. Name the coin, it's your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy a dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming hola, till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya, to the moon and to the solar. Won't don't be letting FOMO control ya. It's over when the finger tornado close ya.